the galaxy's greatest mistake. For 3 centuries, Earth had been nothing more than a cautionary tale. In every academy across the Galactic Union, students learned the same history. Humanity had risen with astonishing speed, challenged powers far older than itself, and then vanished during the mysterious event known as the Long Silence. No distress calls followed. No calenis respondeth. Every human outpost disappeared from known space as if an invisible hand had erased an entire civilization. The official verdict was simple. Humanity was extinct. Eventually, the Galactic Council removed Earth from its protected heritage registry and classified it as an abandoned world. Its cities, technology, and buried resources would be sold to the highest bidders in the largest planetary auction the galaxy had ever held. Executives, miners, collectors, and military contractors celebrated the opportunity. Earth had become a prize rather than a warning. The winning contract went to the Vexus Resource Consortium, a corporation famous for dismantling ancient civilizations and selling their relics across the stars. Their flagship, Prophet's Edge, entered the solar system without resistance. Captain Ralvek stood on the bridge, staring at the blue planet below. "So this is Earth," he muttered. His first officer flicked through centuries-old records. The oceans remain stable. Atmosphere is breathable. Cities detected across every continent. No active military signatures. Ralvek smiled. An untouched treasure. Within hours, landing craft descended toward the ruins of what had once been New York. Towering skyscrapers leaned against one another, wrapped in forests that had reclaimed streets long abandoned. Wind echoed through empty buildings where billions had once lived. The silence unsettled even veteran scavengers. There were no animals, no birds, no insects, only the whisper of the wind. Engineering teams began scanning underground vaults beneath the old city. Human technology was legendary. Even broken machines sold for fortunes on the galactic market. After several hours, one scanner produced an unexpected result. "Captain," an engineer reported over the comms. "We've located a massive energy source nearly 2 kilometers below the surface." Ralvek's eyes narrowed. "A reactor? No, something older. Open it." Heavy drilling machines carved through reinforced alloys, unlike anything the consortium had encountered before. Layer after layer gave way until they uncovered a colossal circular door marked with faded human symbols. The center bore a single inscription. "If found, humanity still lives." The crew laughed. "Primitive optimism," one worker joked. Ignoring the warning, they forced the ancient mechanism open. Dust rolled from the chamber as lights flickered to life for the first time in centuries. Rows of dormant machines lined the walls, untouched by time. At the chamber's center stood a crystalline pillar pulsing with faint blue light. An engineer stepped forward. "It's still receiving power." Before anyone could stop him, he touched the surface. The chamber awakened. Blue energy surged through hidden conduits. Ancient generators roared back to life beneath Earth's crust. Across the planet, forgotten systems activated one after another. Satellites buried beneath lunar dust powered on. Orbital platforms hidden behind asteroids unfolded from stealth mode. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, sealed bunkers unlocked. Inside the chamber, the crystal projected a holographic figure. A human woman in an old naval uniform appeared before the stunned aliens. Her expression remained calm. "Defense Beacon Alpha has been activated." The engineer stumbled backward. "Deactivated." "I cannot comply," the hologram replied. "If this beacon has awakened, unauthorized personnel have breached protected human territory." The room fell silent. Emergency Protocol 9 initiated. Broadcasting location. Signal priority. Absolute. Far beyond the mapped borders of the galaxy, where even exploration fleets feared to travel, a pulse of light crossed the darkness. It passed through dead stars, across forgotten nebulae, beyond the edge of known civilization. Finally, it reached a fleet hidden inside a drifting fortress larger than most moons. Thousands of warships rested in perfect silence. For centuries, they had waited. On the command deck of the flagship Resolute Dawn, warning lights suddenly illuminated the bridge. Officers froze. One message appeared on every display. Defense Beacon Alpha activated. Earth has been breached. An elderly admiral slowly rose from his command chair. His silver hair reflected the cold light of the consoles, but his eyes burned with determination. After 300 years, home had finally called. He looked at his officers. Signal the fleet. 100,000 engines ignited simultaneously, their brilliant light illuminating the endless darkness. The last human fleet turned toward Earth. And for the first time in 3 centuries, humanity was coming home. Ghosts return home. The moment the ancient beacon activated, panic spread through the Vexus Resource Consortium. Inside the underground chamber, alarms echoed through every corridor. The calm blue glow of the crystalline beacon had shifted to a deep crimson, and the holographic human officer remained standing in perfect silence. Captain Ralvek stormed into the chamber, surrounded by armed security guards. "I order that beacon shut down," he barked. The hologram turned toward him. "You have entered sovereign human territory without authorization. Your presence has been recorded." Ralvek laughed nervously. "There are no humans left." The hologram's expression did not change. "Statement incorrect." Before anyone could respond, every screen aboard Prophet's Edge flashed with the same warning. "Unknown signal transmission complete." The message had already left the solar system. Nothing could stop it now. Days passed. The consortium ignored the warning and resumed its operation. Massive mining platforms descended across Earth, tearing into mountains rich with rare minerals. Ancient cities were dismantled piece by piece, and priceless human artifacts were loaded into cargo ships bound for the galactic markets. But strange things began happening. Entire excavation teams vanished without a trace. Mining drones suddenly shut down as if an unseen force had erased their programming. Cargo transports disappeared between Earth and the Moon, leaving only silent distress beacons drifting through space. Fear slowly replaced greed. Captain Ralvek dismissed every report. Faulty equipment, he insisted. Yet even he couldn't explain why Earth's dormant defense satellites had begun moving in orbit. 3 weeks after the beacon awakened, a deep space listening station on the edge of the solar system detected something impossible. Nothing appeared on sensors. No warp signatures. No jump gates. Only silence. Then space itself rippled. One enormous warship emerged from the darkness. Its hull was scarred by centuries of battle, yet its engines burned with brilliant blue fire. Another ship followed, then another. Within minutes, thousands of vessels materialized in perfect formation. Heavy carriers, battle cruisers, destroyers, medical ships, supply vessels. A fleet unlike anything the modern galaxy had ever witnessed. Each ship carried the same symbol, a blue Earth surrounded by silver stars. The last human fleet had returned. Aboard the flagship Resolute Dawn, Admiral Elias Carter stood on the bridge, gazing at the planet he had not seen since childhood. Earth, his home. For 300 years, humanity had remained hidden beyond the edge of explored space, rebuilding after a devastating war against an enemy that had nearly destroyed them all. They had stayed silent, believing Earth would remain untouched beneath its automated defenses. They had been wrong. Carter spoke quietly. Status: Earth occupied by corporate forces. No civilian human life detected. Orbital Defensa Espaciale Operacional. The Admiral nodded. We're still in time. He pressed a single command on his console. Across every communication network in the solar system, one transmission overwhelmed every frequency. Alien ships stopped what they were doing. Mining lasers powered down. Military commanders stared at their screens. A human face appeared. Older. Battle-hardened. Calm. I am Admiral Elias Carter of the United Human Fleet. His voice echoed across the stars. To every unauthorized vessel currently occupying Earth. You are trespassing. This world has never been abandoned. It has always been protected. You have exactly 1 hour to leave human space. Silence followed. Then laughter erupted aboard several corporate ships. Executives dismissed the message as a bluff. One corporation even ordered its security fleet to intercept the newcomers. Admiral Carter watched without emotion. "They've chosen," he said. Human warships shifted into combat formation with flawless precision. Shield arrays illuminated like rising suns. Rail cannons rotated toward the approaching alien vessels. On Earth's surface, ancient defense bunkers awakened one after another, recognizing the fleet's encrypted command codes. For the first time in centuries, Earth's planetary shield began to reactivate. The aliens finally realized the truth. The stories had been wrong. Humanity had never disappeared. It had simply been waiting. And now, the Guardians of Earth had come home, humanity's last arsenal. The 1-hour deadline expired in silence. Not a single corporate warship left Earth's orbit. Instead, Captain Ralvek assembled the Vex's security fleet into a defensive formation. Hundreds of cruisers powered their plasma cannons, convinced that the newly arrived human force was too small to challenge the combined strength of the corporations. "Fire a warning volley," Ralvek ordered. "Show them they no longer own this system." A wave of brilliant plasma streaked across space toward the human fleet. On the bridge of the Resolute Dawn, Admiral Elias Carter watched the attack without flinching. Raise the Aegis shield. A shimmering field of blue light spread across the human formation. The incoming plasma bolts struck the barrier and vanished in silent flashes, leaving every human ship untouched. The alien commanders stared at their sensors in disbelief. "Our weapons did nothing." Carter gave his next command. "Return fire. Disable only." The human fleet answered with terrifying precision. Long silver rails unfolded from beneath each warship. Magnetic accelerators launched dense tungsten projectiles at incredible speed. Unlike glowing plasma, the rounds were nearly invisible until they struck. One by one, alien cruisers lost engines, weapons, and shields. Some spun helplessly through space. Others drifted powerless, their reactors safely shut down by perfectly aimed impacts. Not a single ship exploded. The humans could have destroyed them. Instead, they chose restraint. On Earth, ancient military bunkers opened for the first time in 3 centuries. Hidden beneath mountains, deserts, and oceans, automated defense facilities came alive. Thousands of dormant Guardian drones emerged from underground hangars and spread across the planet. Their mission was simple: protect Earth, avoid unnecessary casualties. Corporate mining machines were surrounded and disabled within hours. Human drones cut power lines, jammed communications, and sealed excavation sites without harming the workers. Confused miners surrendered almost immediately. Many had never expected humanity to exist at all. Captain Ralvek refused to admit defeat. "This is impossible," he growled. "Call every corporate fleet in nearby sectors. Promise them Earth's resources. Tell them humanity is weak." His desperate broadcasts spread quickly. Greed traveled faster than fear. Within days, reinforcements answered. Warships from dozens of corporations entered the solar system, forming the largest private armada in modern history. Their commanders believed numbers alone would guarantee victory. Admiral Carter watched them arrive from the bridge. "So they value profit more than wisdom." His communications officer nodded. "They outnumber us nearly 4-1. Carter smiled faintly. Numbers have never won wars. Across the human fleet, sealed compartments unlocked. Weapons hidden for centuries were brought online. Gravitillance array, quantum interception grids, electronic warfare systems capable of disabling entire fleets without destroying them. Technologies developed during humanity's long exile beyond known space. The alien armada advanced confidently. Then every targeting computer failed. Navigation systems shut down. Communications dissolved into static. Ships drifted out of formation as invisible quantum pulses overwhelmed their networks. Before panic could spread further, human strike groups moved with astonishing coordination. Each vessel targeted engines, shield generators, and weapon systems, never life support modules. Within minutes, hundreds of enemy ships floated helplessly, unable to fight. The battle had barely begun, yet humanity already controlled the battlefield. As silence settled over Earth's orbit, Admiral Carter addressed his fleet. For 300 years, we survived because we remembered who we are. We do not fight for conquest. We fight for home. Every human captain acknowledged the order. Below them, Earth's blue oceans reflected the sunlight just as they had centuries before. The home they had crossed the galaxy to protect was finally within reach. But long-range sensors detected something far more dangerous. Beyond the edge of the solar system, an enormous armada was emerging from hyperspace. Unlike the corporations, these ships bore the insignia of the Galactic Council itself. The galaxy had finally realized its mistake, and it had come prepared for war, the price of underestimating humans. The Galactic Council's Grand Armada emerged from hyperspace like a wall of steel stretching across the stars. Thousands of warships filled the outer edge of the solar system, dwarfing every corporate fleet that had come before. Their flagship moved to the front, surrounded by layers of battleships and carriers. A transmission reached the Resolute Dawn. "This is High Marshal Kaler of the Galactic Council. Human fleet, stand down immediately. Earth has been legally transferred under galactic authority. Any resistance will be treated as an act of war." On the bridge, Admiral Elias Carter listened without emotion. He answered calmly, 300 years ago, you declared our people extinct without ever searching beyond your borders. Then you auctioned our home as abandoned property." He paused. "Earth is not yours to sell." The channel closed. Moments later, the Council fleet opened fire. Thousands of plasma beams, missiles, and particle lances surged toward Earth. "Activate Guardian Protocol," Carter ordered. At once, hidden stations around Earth came alive. Massive orbital platforms unfolded from behind the moon and nearby asteroids. Together with the human fleet, they projected a brilliant planetary shield that surrounded Earth in shimmering blue light. The enemy barrage struck the shield, sending waves of light across its surface, but not a single shot reached the planet. Earth stood unharmed. Carter gave his final command: deploy the Horizon Array. Deep within the Resolute Dawn, an ancient device awakened. It had been built during humanity's years of exile, designed not to destroy civilizations, but to end wars without needless bloodshed. A pulse of pale, silver energy expanded across the battlefield. It swept through the Galactic Council Armada in seconds. One after another, enemy weapons shut down. Engines powered off. Shield generators failed. Fire control systems went dark. Entire battleships drifted silently through space, completely intact, but unable to continue fighting. Not a single vessel exploded. Not a single city would mourn millions lost in battle. The silence that followed was more powerful than any weapon. High Marshal Kaler stared at his powerless fleet. They spared us. He finally understood. Humanity had not returned seeking revenge. It had returned to protect its home. Kaler reopened the communication channel. "Admiral Carter, the Galactic Council requests a ceasefire." Carter nodded. "Accepted." Within hours, the remaining corporate fleets surrendered. Mining operations were abandoned, and every unauthorized vessel began withdrawing from Earth's orbit under human supervision.